So your name is Das. But your real name is Todd. Why do you go by Das?
I always had like a creative identity. Usually when you paint graph, like a lot of your friends know you as that name. They don't just call you by your first name. So I used to like label everything the Interbot, right? And so I really didn't like the so much. And so I transformed that into Das, right? Which is the in German, and I'm German.
Ah.
So I started labeling everything like photography and paintings and everything Das Interbot. And then so just for short, it's Das.
So the Air Force, when did that happen?
2009 to 2015. I just got out in June.
So how old were you when you started?
Technically 27.
What made you decide to like go into that?
I joined because I had a family, right? I was married. Well, let me rewind that part. That's another story. I was not married, but I had a kid, right? And I needed to do something that was just a lot greater than myself, something that was going to stabilize me for income. Now I had to start thinking about insurance. I had to think about like long term, right? Started working 3 jobs. I didn't like that lifestyle, so I started looking at other options, and I seriously started thinking about the military.
So like chronologically, tell me like all the parts of your life since high school. So high school, did you graduate from high school?
This is gonna be a fun ride. So I did. I graduated high school in 1999.
Okay. And then after that, did you go straight to college? Did you have a gap year?
Kind of partied my way out my first year, so I didn't go back. I was put on academic probation after my first year. So that summer I jumped on a bus and went to St. Louis and
Missouri.
And then met up with a group of people my age. Like they were ages like 17 to 25. Big group, maybe like 20 people, 20 kids. And they were traveling across the country selling magazines door to door. And we did a lot of drugs.
What kind of drugs did you guys do?
If you name it, I did it.
Heroin.
I don't think I tried heroin, but yeah, I smoked crack.
You did?
In Vegas. That was the only time I ever smoked crack. And then tried meth for the first time in Vegas. Cocaine, PCP, mescaline, weed, a lot of stuff.
High school, then college for a year, then a bus company magazine thing for another year.
Yeah.
What about after that?
The dark ages.
Okay, and
then my brother was a DJ, so I moved in with him and started like partying a lot. And I never really got a job. Really didn't know what I was doing at that point in my life, but I was 19 when I moved in with him. And so I went to raves every weekend. I can't tell you exactly what I did because I never got a job anywhere. But that's when I started using drugs a lot. So I got really addicted to drugs.
like anything or
No,
something
mainly crystal meth. Like I was a meth addict for like 4 years, and I was homeless for like 3.
Do you remember how you acted when you were like on meth?
Yeah,
Can you?
I drew a lot. Like it was like a creative like kind of vehicle for me. Like I didn't like smoke meth or like snort meth and then go out and just like rage or rob people or anything like that. Like I would get high and like I would draw a lot. I would just sit there in like a corner for like hours and I would just draw or write. And that's what I did, or like go hang out and party with some friends or whatever. But yeah, no, I was always really creative when I was high.
And do you think that was part of the reason why, like, you liked it?
I mean, I enjoyed it, but it wasn't like, I don't know. I guess I don't know, like somewhere along the line, I think I just lost my motivation, or just my not even a motivation. What is it? your connection to life, I suppose.
To like reality?
Not even like I didn't care about reality. What's real anyway? What's real anyways? Like even now, like I'm a sober person. I mean, I can drink and I'm fine, but like, what is reality? That doesn't make any sense. So, but yeah, no, I was just misguided, and I just didn't care. Like I just didn't have like my passion to live.
Wait, okay. While you were homeless, did you ever like, did you write like signs and ask for money? Like have like cardboard signs and sit on the street? Did you ever do that?
No.
No? You were just, like that was just a condition that you had, like was that you didn't have a home. It wasn't like...
I never wanted to resort to begging folks for money, because even when I was hungry and desperate, I never thought about begging people for money. Like I just didn't want to go that route. If you know what I mean, because it's my fault. I knew then. It's just like I knew that if I wanted to at that point, I could fix myself.
Okay, so that girl, the girl from New York, she came down with her friend and she kidnapped you.
Yeah.
You were homeless.
Yeah. She found me, told me she was in town. I was like, oh shit, we gotta hang out. She found me and we hung out for, it was like 3 or 4 days. And I had probably been up for like 7 or 8 days at that point. And when she was driving back up to New York, we were somewhere like really far south of Atlanta. And she's like, we'll drop you back off in Atlanta on our way through. And I was like, all right, cool. So I fell asleep in the back seat of their car, and when I woke up, we were like almost into South Carolina. I was like, what the fuck? Like, why didn't you drop me off, you know? And like, they were giving me like excuses. And so finally he just pulled over. It was snowing out. It was blizzard conditions. Seriously, it was like 2 feet of snow on the ground. He pulls over on the side of the interstate, and he's like, starts yelling at me. I was like, fuck this, fuck everything. I pushed him, got out of the car. He like came at me. We started fighting on the side of the interstate for like a second. Caroline's like screaming, like stop. So it's just like, we stopped. I grabbed my shit. I was like, fuck you guys. Like I don't need any of this. I never asked for any of this. I'm out. So I started walking on the side of the interstate for a while, and
why did they want to take you to New York? Just because they didn't want to stop?
They knew that I was like really fucked up, and they were
wanted to bring you to rehab?
Yeah, they wanted to get me away from Georgia, and like I guess
So
I don't know why they weren't.
to help?
Yeah, I guess I think that the thing is that you don't tell somebody who's that far down the rabbit hole the truth, because then they're gonna freak out and like run away. So you kind of have to use this tactic of deceit to maybe like get them so far where there is no point of return, so that way they have to like, you know.
So you think like deceit in that situation is like justified?
Sure.
Like you would
Sure.
do that to someone else, even though
I
it
don't-
happened to you. Did it? And it
Let's
pissed
put it
you
this
off?
way. I'm thankful that happened.
Okay, finish, because I don't know what actually happened after that.
So yeah, we kind of fight, and I'm walking down the interstate, and I've got all my bags on. Caroline's like crying. She's like tugging on my shirt. She's like, Todd, don't go. And I was like, and I was just still really angry about like what was happening, because this.
Were you high?
No.
No.
Like I wasn't high at the moment. But yeah, she's trying to get me to turn around, and like this car pulled over, this black luxurious car. It was like, and some old like white dude was in it. He looked like he could be a politician or something, because he had this big like coat on. He was really nice looking, like suit and everything, and all these like papers in his passenger seat, and it was just like kind of creepy like for a minute. But he pulled over and was like, "Can I take you anywhere?" I was like, "Like this is like." It's like your heart starts pumping and like your adrenaline starts to run, and like you know that this is one of those crucial moments in life where like if you get in the car, it's going to take you somewhere else, and if you stay, it's going to take you somewhere else. Like I was very aware of what was happening at that point. And so like I looked at that dude, and I looked at Caroline, and I was like, alright, I'm going to get back in the car with you, but Thomas is getting in the back seat and I'm driving, and I want both you guys to just shut the fuck up for a minute. She's like, okay, that's fine. And so I looked at the dude, I was like, we're okay, man, I'll see you later. So he took off, and then we got back in the car and started driving. I drove all the way up to New York, Buffalo, and we stayed at her mom's house for 2 weeks, and I just slept for like 2 weeks. My family like had a big intervention with me, and they're like, "You're either going to rehab, or you're going back on the streets," and I chose rehab.
What was like your most memorable experience in rehab?
Our emu got loose, and we had to go like run around the farm like catch an emu at like 11 o'clock at night. There's big, strong animals.
Okay, so tell me about your daughter. What's her name?
Her name's Dharma Joanne Howell.
Dharma?
Mm-hmm.
D-A-R-M-A?
Dharma.
Oh, like Karma and Dharma.
Yeah.
And how did you meet her mother?
I met her when I was partying. Like I was 19, I just moved in with my brother, and like he was DJing. So like I started to meet a lot of people during that time. She was one of the people that I met.
So when was Dharma born?
I was 26.
So you've been together for how long?
On and off, like 4 years. You know?
And what was like, how did you find out?
That she was pregnant?
Yeah.
I was at work. I'd just gotten to work. Actually, no, it was right before that. I was going into work, and she's like, I think, like, I don't know, I might be pregnant, like, kind of late.
So what was, like, your first reaction when you, like...
She called me, like, 20 minutes later. Like, because I just clocked in. She's like, it's positive. I was like, like...
Were you happy? Like,
yeah, absolutely.
You were happy? You wanted a baby?
Yeah.
Really?
I mean, I knew I wasn't ready for one, but I was like, if it is, like, I like, totally want to be a dad. So I was stoked.
Did you ever think about it before that? Really?
Yeah, hell yeah. I love kids. I always knew that I could be a father someday, and I always wanted to be a better father than mine. So that's like, when I knew I was going to be a dad, I was like, shit's about to change. So, and I was really excited about all that.
So were you like scared at all when you found out like
hell
she
yeah.
might be pregnant? Like what was...
There's just a lot that goes on when something like that happens. You know, there's like a flush of excitement, there's a flush of fear, and just everything. There's just this big stew of emotions. I was happy though. I told my customers, my regulars, I was like, guess what? Like, what? Why are you smiling so big? I was like, I'm gonna be a dad. They're like, yay! So.
What was like watching her grow up like? Like, what is she like?
It's the most amazing experience in my life. She's so cool, man. She's just like, I don't want to say she's just like me, but like I get her, and I think she really gets me, because when we hang out, like, it's undeniable connection. Like people can see, like, oh my god, like you guys are so cool together. And Dharma tell you, like, I have a cool dad. Yeah, she is very aware that her and her dad like hang out and play. And when I'm like with my little girl, and like when I'm with family, and like Christmas, and like just like there's this world of stuff going on around me, like I am focused on my kid, and like I'll be hiding under the desk with her while all the adults are like congregating in the living room talking about life or whatever. Like I'm playing spy with my kid.